William the Conqueror had recaptured York from the rebels. Now he wanted to teach them a lesson for defying him. He began a brutal campaign of destruction to crush any further resistance, known as the Harrying of the North. Villages and crops were destroyed. It is said 100,000 people were killed. With ruthless efficiency, William the Conqueror had secured obedience in his new kingdom. But it wasn't to last. It would be thrown into chaos by his own children. When William the Conqueror died in 1087, his favorite son succeeded him, King William II, known as William Rufus. But 13 years into his reign, disaster struck. While out hunting, he was killed. William's youngest brother took his place as King Henry I. But there was a problem. At the time, Henry's elder brother, Robert, Duke of Normandy, had been on crusade. When he returned, he was furious that Henry had grabbed the throne. From Normandy, Robert attempted to invade England to claim the crown from his brother. But he failed and returned home. In retaliation, Henry struck back. In a reversal of 1066, he crossed the Channel and invaded Normandy, intent on undermining his brother Robert's rule. His first target was Bayeux. This rich and splendid city was one of the jewels of Normandy. Henry was to begin his campaign by unleashing his forces on the city. Bayeux was about to feel the wrath of the English army. In the brotherly feud over Normandy, King Henry I set out to make an example of Bayeux, a town still loyal to his brother Duke Robert. Henry's archers took up position on high ground outside the city and faced an immediate attack by Robert's cavalry patrol. Having deployed their palings, Henry's archers were well protected against the cavalry charge. They defeated the first patrol. As Henry set his sights on burning Bayeux, more reinforcements arrived to join his army. The English approached Bayeux and saw that its towering stone walls would not be breached by manpower alone. Henry would need siege equipment and a defensible location to construct it. Henry now called for the services of a blacksmith to bolster the siege effort.
Sure, lass. Your way on the Saminende. Eat your worker.
Abuga, Strelbora.
Get thee ready for Hestes. Jarro to work. Verrende nu. That Shula Beul Timran.
With a blacksmith on hand, Henry's infantry would soon be ready to construct siege equipment.
Yaru to work.
Henry's presence on the doorstep of Bayeux would not go unanswered, and now his forces braced for an attack by Robert's army.
Come on now. Read nu.
Fuse tolle switte.
On your work, huh? Each timber.
Henry repelled the attack, but he knew that so long as Bayeux still stood, the city would not give up the fight.
Yes, sir. West Duhala. Each one.
Henry's infantry could now construct battering rams, siege weapons designed to break open fortress walls.
And you want what's their faith, eh?
Yet Garwigan, Garu, Ferath. It shall be Timbrentis. Strelboran, Site.
What's their faith, eh? It's timber theos. Fete. And you work it. Fair enough. That's sole bio tempran.
Hit bad bulldog.
What's their face,
Ways at Yerwin. Donde Swaharten. Kaiser. Griffiths in the
Find the Ancestors!
With the power of battering rams, the English army could crack open Bayer's mighty walls.
Garu Upas! Levi! Jensa! Dein Hestes! Ich gar so ahead! Yet real CS! Astira Garwigan!
Cheers. Your way on your sunny ending. What's their face, Yes, sir. West Tuhala. That's Shule Bayo Timbran.
Garu Upa! Garwigan!
Strabor, Yerba. Fuck now. Jimruke that.
Tanika, stand in the eye!
Yaru to work. On your work, huh? Yes, Ellie. Each a worker.
Yaru to work. And you work it. Teach a worker.
Tremen, Garu.
Yes, sir. West Tuhala.
Yes, sir. West Tuhala. Ikke om je Sally. On your work, huh? Each
Gareth Opa. Each will a delphin.
What's her face,
Yarzona.
Yes, sir. West Tuhala. On your work, huh? Cheers. Your way on your sunny ending. That's Shule Bayo Timpan.
Yeah, we are. Nigga shot.
On your work, huh?
There you worked it.
Very your words,
Strelboran, Sithe.
Estes comende.
Yaru Huskala. That timber shall be.
Here an offer. Each a work.
What Hestes? Gande both. Elista Mala.
Abuga, Strelboran.
Ich eon yidu.
Jerez. Bestraboran, Yerwa. Abuga, Strelboran.
Fair enough.
Yep. Yerwa, Garwigan. That Timbrin Shale Bell.
Vieru Sierra, Nierende Heste. Ram Yaru.
Flamboga Arod.
What's our faith, eh? It's timber a thing. Yes, sir. Where's the water?
Yeah, yeah,
Arthur Canitas! Yeah!
Sierra Goo. And you work it. Eat your work it. Sure, lass. Your way on your salmon end day. That's surely bailed in, Brent. Eat.
Yaru to work. Fachende Wudu. That Shule Bayo Timbran.
Estes comende. Each timber thanks.
Garu Upa. It shall be Timbrin.
Ram Rinka. Vieru Serratiano.
Yerwiath.
Nu, Tulkes.
Buscala Hildefus.
Sherlas, you idiot, Sherlas.
Ich Eom Yedo.
Each timber theos.
Wendende. Garwigan. Aseta. Yaru Hesa.
Trimmer, Garu. That Timbrin Shale Bale.
Very
Buscala.
It is Sita for Actus.
and your work, eh? Fetch and they would do.
Get to the ready for Hestes.
Yaru Hesam.
It beeth Hulda.
What Hestes?
Underfonda, Hildeshoff, yonder!
Strelbora. Yerwa. Paragonga on well. Constantly.
Look at you be ready, Chris. Look at you be ready, Freckus.
Waste the Jerry! Waste the Yellow Sarah! Wendende!
Strelbora. Site.
Ram Rekas! Ram Yaru! What Hestes? What Hestes? Ram Rekas! Ram Rekas!
Second yard.
Bayer's walls had failed.
Right, yeah!
and Henry's men could now storm the city. Robert's garrison made a last stand to defend Bayeux, but Henry would show no mercy in cutting them down and burning their city.
Ja, it's Levi to hear them! Stand in the eye! Drömmen! Bei Bjergsena!
He's a worker.
careless.
Aquí cambiaron armas. Voi incendiarwe. Vieni. Alle Schritte. Fight the Luciana. Let's act now. Ready? On fire. Transition. Yes, sir. On stille. Brembora. Die.
As Bayeux burned and the people fled in terror, King Henry basked in the victory over his brother Duke Robert. But Henry would not stop until all of Normandy was back under the English crown. By 1100, the medieval knight was dressed from head to toe in mail.
Mail is really like a metal fabric. It moves and behaves like a cloth, but is actually made of hundreds and thousands of interlocking iron rings.
It could turn and deflect a sword blade.
As an armor, mail didn't work all by itself. It needed the addition of a padded coat. The coat absorbed the shock of the blow, whilst the mail turned away the cut. Together, they formed an incredibly effective protection.
The first stage in making mail was to create wire to the right thickness. To do this, it was pulled through a drawing plate, which had a series of ever smaller holes, until you got wire of the desired gauge.
To make the rings, we wind the wire onto a mandrel.
And then we take it off the mandrel and cut the rings.
So I've flattened the overlapping ends of the ring, and I've pierced a hole through it. And now Nick has to put a rivet in it. The basic construction of mail would be a ratio of 4:1. So each ring goes through 4 of its fellows. Here you can see I've made a set of 5, which will then be joined to other sets of 5 to create a sheet of mail.
Mail had to be tailored to a perfect fit. It had to be shaped for feet and legs, arms and hands, and, of course, the head. A skilled mail maker could make very precise shapes.
Of course, for more complicated parts of the body, like elbows, we can actually tailor it in 2 different directions at the same time.
Yeah, so if we fold this in half, we have an elbow.
One of the main benefits of tailoring in mail was that it meant a knight didn't have to carry a single ring of extra weight that he didn't need to.
The mail to cover a knight from head to toe required about 200,000 rings.
High-status knights would have had their mail edged with gold, but most importantly, it had to be functional.
Clad in mail with his shield and helmet, the knight was well equipped to face the weapons of the day. While Bayeux burned, King Henry pressed his advantage. Seizing key fortifications and buying the loyalty of powerful lords, Henry loosened his brother's grip over Normandy. At Tinchebray in 1106, brother would fight brother for final claim to their father's lands. Determined to claim Normandy and capture his brother, Duke Robert, King Henry besieged the castle at Tinchebray. But the direct assault on the formidable stone castle was failing. Unable to breach the towering walls, the king devised a new plan to capture his brother. Henry would force Robert to defend his lands from attack by razing the villages of Martigny and Fresnes.
Before we have awaited.
Ja, voljende hesa. Ridende ut.
Nu, Tulkes, setteth jou. Forthwarde Frenkes, mid baldenes.
Ansagen!
It is Sither for Actus. Aditen jara armes! Fortfalla! Dresseth jou!
Forward, ich will rida. Hannes gehände! Ridende ut. Ga ut! Ich liebe ja!
Nu, Tulkes! Look at jou wie het
Here!
Let me know word.
What head? Ga ut!
It is Sither for Actus. Soldiers! Andente to serve. Weapons ready!
Ansagen!
Forthwarde Frenkes, mid baldenes.
To goad Robert out of his stronghold, Henry's men would burn the village to the ground.
What hesa? Barendin. You're easy. Barendin. Dende ut. Yes, sir.
Apple Knickers!
What were they here?
Knickers, stand in there!
Each will read us. Ja, ga ut.
The village of Martigny was destroyed, but still Robert did not emerge to face Henry outside the castle. Henry would have to raise the stakes. Next, he targeted the village of Fresnes.
Videre jaar. Each year.
Henry received word that Robert had sent for a fresh army to aid in defending his position at the castle. Henry had to eliminate these new forces before they could combine with the garrison at Tinchebray. Henry could buy reinforcements from nearby allies if he could procure the gold to pay them. Henry sent gold to his ally in men and received fresh reinforcements.
Ja, ga ut. Ridende ut.
Järwe, Athel, Knitas, ut readeth. Nu, Tulkes, alles with. Weapons ready! For Arne, look at jou wie het ready, Frank. Athel, ut readeth! Ja! For Arne, readeth! Knitas, stand the to serve!
Ansagen! Dummita!
Ja! Andente to serve! Sabuga! Vida kit! Knitas, stand the
Ridende ut.
By eliminating Robert's incoming army, Henry had thwarted his brother's attempt at strengthening the castle's defenses.
see. Alles Ritter!
Ja. ¿Dónde está? Ich will rida.
Arthur Canitas! Dressed, yo! We have a wonderful roar, eh?
Into Willa. Ridende ut. Ich will rida.
Alla Canitas! Ja! Weapons ready! On fire! Before the other way, Tende! Let us go! Du, Tulkas! Canitas, stand up! Canitas! Ja! We shall lay the yard.
Ja. Ga upp. Farende nu. Ga.
Look at you be ready, Freck. At mina word, Ferret.
Wat häst? Ich will rida. Farende nu. Voljen?
Jätte the andente to servant.
Ridere, ja, dende ut. Ga. Hartes je hände!
Canitas! In the side, nu, Tulkas! Set it, yard. Arthur Canitas, it's live to hear it. Soltas! Look at you be the Adita Yara! Remember to Marseilles! Obeisance is on Outridende! Untende Fende! Canitas! In and it's live to hear it! It is Sita for Adita Yara armors! Alla Canitas yard! Give a good battle, Canitas! Canitas standing up! Alla Canitas yard! Look at those readers, Canitas! Andente to servant! Canitas standing there! Oh, readers! Canitas! In the sun! Canitas! Readers! Focus! Canitas! Willa! Alla Canitas! Ja! Finish Swerda! And on off!
It's Willa.
Get to be ready for it. Arthur Canitas! Ja! At mina word! Färre! Utrida nu, Tulkas! Fourth ward, alla Canitas! Duty!
Ridere, Yaru. Ich will rida.
At the hands of Henry's army, the village of Fresnes was in ruins.
Wat hessa? Voljende hessa.
Henry's provocations had paid off.
Tulkas, set it.
Robert finally emerged from the castle to face his brother in open battle.
Canitas, stand there. It is Sita for Actus. Canitas, stand there. Good battle, Canitas. Let us read it, Canitas. Canitas, in the side. Keep it good battle. Alla Canitas for Arneth, Mr. Arthur Canitas. Nu, Tulkas, set it yard. Arthur Canitas yard. It's live to hear it. Yet to be ready for Hestes. It is Sita for Actus.
Ja, donde that?
Look at you be ready, Freckis.
Semana varmes a greffer for stor.
Look at you be ready, Freckis.
Your nestra or yerwa. Ik will.
Arthur Knipsertus. Give him good here!
King Henry's tactic of luring Robert into the open had worked. Henry captured his brother, and Normandy was his.